These are the most convincing cases of alien abductions. In October 1957, 23-year-old Antônio Vilas-Boas was out plowing his family's farm in rural Brazil. When he looked in the sky, he noticed a single red star, brighter than all the others. But it seemed to have been getting bigger until it was 10 times bigger than he originally saw it. That's when Antonio realized that it was headed towards him. Before Antonio could run, it was already directly above his head. It was an egg-shaped aircraft turned to its side, with 3 legs slowly extending underneath it, while it started to land. Antonio, scared for his life, ran to his tractor to escape, but once he turned it on, it suddenly died. Antonio, scared for his life, jumped out of his tractor, but was grabbed by a small figure. The figure was dressed in a full-body suit and seemed to have breathing tubes. And when Antonio almost overpowered him, 3 others came to assist and help grab Antonio. There was no escape. He was then brought into the spaceship. They placed him in a small boxed bright room, where they held him down and gently took off his clothes, being careful to be gentle and not damage him or his belongings. Once naked, the aliens put a clear liquid all over Antonio's body and took blood from his chin using a strange device that later left a scar doctors had noticed. He said that the aliens spoke in animal-like grunts. He couldn't make out anything they were saying. They left him in the room for about an hour, when eventually a female alien came in that looked more human. She entered in the room and a cloud of gas came from a vent above. Antonio felt nauseous at first, but then felt euphoria, and both engaged in intercourse. Afterwards, Antonio was dressed back up and was allowed to return to his farm. While headed out of the spaceship, he tried to grab something, just to have proof. But while trying, one of the aliens became very aggressive and took whatever Antonio was trying to get a hold of. At first, nobody believed Antonio's story, but Dr. T. Fontes, a professor of medicine who worked at the National School of Medicine, he told Antonio to go public with this story. And once Antonio did, the Brazil army and scientists ran tests on Antonio. When scanned, they found high levels of radiation coming off Antonio's body. And the crazy part is he was suffering from radiation poisoning. He became very sick for months. Until this day, nobody can explain if it was real or fiction. The test and proof of scars on his chin makes some believe that Antonio was telling the truth. You guys tell me if you believe this next story. On November 5th, 1975, a group of friends who were loggers in Arizona went off to work as usual in the forest. It wasn't a long day, but well-earned money. But after work, things got a little hectic. They packed their stuff up to head home after having such tiring work hours. They all carpooled, and as soon as the ride home started, they saw a bright light come towards the car. At first, they thought it was a sunset, but checking the time, they realized that the sun had went down hours ago. The men then realized there was an aircraft flying above them. One of the men, named Travis Walton, wanted to get a better look, so he got out the car. He thought maybe it was just a regular aircraft, so he went to go inspect it. But a few moments later, a beam of light hit him and brought him right up to the ship. The rest of the men became terrified and drove off, leaving Travis. Travis was then declared missing, and an investigation started instantly. Police searched high and low, but couldn't find no trace for 5 days. But on the 5th day, Travis appeared. Lost, confused, and in a daze, Travis said that once he was beamed up, he was immediately unconscious to where he woke up on a table with 3 beings staring at him from above. He claimed they ran experiments on him, and then after that, he woke back up in the forest. Till this day, people cannot explain where he was for those 5 days. Travis even wrote a book about this disappearance. Click this story right here to hear about an actress whose biggest fan became obsessed and took her life.